Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have something really cool that the team from Brook just sent me for you guys to take a quick peek at before it hits the market. This is their new fighting board. It's the wireless fighting board, as you can clearly see in the box in this little Wi-Fi antenna over here. So it is an updated version, I want to say, or a different version of their PS4 Plus audio board. If you guys are already familiar with that, that board allows you to play on PS3, PS4, and now Switch, which is super cool. But that was only wire. You had to have a hard connection to your console to make that work. This guy adds the ability of wireless, which is really exciting. I know for me, I could just be chilling on my couch and not have to worry about tripping over a cable. That's pretty exciting, especially in a casual setting, right? Tournament play, you can obviously just plug in wired and not have to worry about lag or anything like that. So I'm pretty soup to kind of get this open for you guys. I'm not going to do a full build today. I'll probably do that next week, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications. But I will be making a build video featuring a stick with this PCB in it. Now, quick breakdown. So PS4, PS3, right, and Switch support right out of the box, wired or wireless. It supports the audio from the PS4 end, right? So it's going to have that 3.5mm jack for a headset. Built-in SOCD cleaning, so if you guys are playing on Hitbox, that's all set up for you. You can also switch it to that infamous second input last mode using a jumper, right? So that's supported as well if you want to do that. Touchpad support, turbo support, very minimal lag with no timeouts as far as 8-minute timeout for authentication. Effortless installation, saying upgradable firmware, so all the typical Brook goodies. 2 analog stick support, that's always been there. All right, QR codes over here, I always like to point that out. That gets you over to their site for any firmware upgrades or the manual and stuff like that. But let's unbox this thing. I'm pretty hype. Cracking it open, the board is here. Great. Let's see, we have the cable for the breakout, right? So here's the breakout, and we have some hardware in there, and this mystery wire, which I'll get into in a second, and some Brook stickers. Love me some Brook stickers. All right, so first things first, let's crack the board open. All right, this is the star of the show. Here it is in the flesh. Very, very similar to the PS4 Plus audio as far as layout goes. All right, there's one difference that I see right over here, which is the plug for an external battery, which we will get into in a second, and it's absolutely needed for wireless play. Okay, so putting that aside, right, we have the breakout over here. Okay, so this is gonna support your USB cable, and it's USB Type B, right? USB Type B and 3.5mm headphone. Okay, this is the breakout cable that connects the USB portion and the audio portion to the board, and those get routed to these points right over here. So that's that. Some hardware, right? And it's actually for this particular wire over here, which is the antenna for the wireless stick. Okay. Now the hardware here, I see a washer and a nut for this guy, I'm assuming. And then there's a jumper over here in case you want to change the SOCD cleaning function to last input priority. We also are going to need, and I just happen to have one around for my mods, but this is an external battery. You can look up on Amazon. I'll try to put a link in the description where to find a replacement battery for the controller for your DualShock. This is actually from the DualShock 3 days. I've just kind of had this around. But this guy is going to plug in right over here. Boom. And once that's in, this guy can now be used as a wireless board. Otherwise, it'd have no power to run the board. All right. So I'll leave that there just for a sec. I also want to explain this guy, which is the antenna. All right. So you'll see that this is detachable. So it's like a mini coaxial. I don't know the diameter just yet, but it's a coaxial cable that comes out. Now, here's something that's going to be very important. So the first thing you're going to want to take note of is when you're installing this thing is what arcade stick am I putting this in? Is it metal? Is it plastic? How thick are the side walls, right? That can really impede the wireless connectivity. You know, so based on the thickness and material of your current arcade stick, whether you're going to need to install this externally, or if you want to take a chance and leave it internally so that you don't have to drill a hole in the side of your case. All right. You know, when I build my stick, I'm going to actually try to drill a hole just for maximum connectivity. But I'm using my B&B fight sticks, which are, you know, they're not that thick as far as the walls go. I think for the video, I might actually drill a hole just to kind of show you guys what kind of, you know, diameter that you're going to need to kind of get this installed. All right. So very important. This guy connects to the board right over here. Hang on, let me get this guy screwed on. So there's a little connection point right over here. It's hard to see it. I'm trying to focus in on the camera, and then this guy would just kind of clip right on. Very similar to like a Bluetooth card for PCs or laptops. A couple things I noticed when I was hooking this guy up. I used a test button, and I hooked this up to the PlayStation input, right? The PS or home input, we should say. And immediately this guy started working with the battery installed. I did have to make one hard connection to get it to pair. And I do want to report before I end the video that this does wake up the console. I haven't tested on Switch yet, but I'm pretty sure that once it's paired up to the console, you can use it outside the box, which is very exciting because now I could take a fight stick with me and have my Switch with me. And that's really cool because, you know, I just never thought it would be practical because you'd have to carry like a USB cable and it's kind of awkward to plug it in on the Type-C connector on the bottom. Now you can actually lug around a stick with you with this installed and play wirelessly while the Switch is on, you know, tabletop mode. And not have to worry about cables, right? So that is exciting. But it does wake up the consoles once it's paired to the console. So hype about that, guys. So that's it for today, right? Stay tuned till next week because I will be doing a full build featuring this board. And I already know the question you're gonna ask: how's the performance? I don't know yet. You know, especially in wireless mode. I don't know yet, but if you guys know Brook's reputation, it's probably going to be on point. So I'm not too worried about that, and I'm pretty excited to test it out for you guys.